Hello, fellow YouTubers, friends, students who are joining me out there in YouTube land. Welcome back. This is day 8 of 21 Days of YouTube Empowerment Challenge. And I have to share with you that I definitely am feeling the shifts and changes. I realized this morning that it's been 2 weeks since I've been here in Mexico already, and a week since I've been making these videos. And I have been experiencing tremendous personal growth and transformation just in sitting in front of the camera every day for 10 minutes. And why is that? Well, I feel and see that in making these videos and sharing with you my raw, authentic journey, I have had to go back in my analog of memories, of reflections, and it's prompted a lot of personal reflection on how I'm living my life and how I am showing up daily. And so today I actually feel inspired right now in this moment to share with you the journey of being a teacher and my own personal journey of transformation. And it has been one of lots of ups and downs. Stepping into the role as teacher and leading teacher training programs for 5 years, I repeatedly would go into 21-day program, 21 to 25 day, depending on the schools that I was working with at the time, and lead what in my mind was a yoga teacher training program, but in many ways is a transformational program, because each day was full of examining beliefs, patterns, of changing perspective, of getting into the body and working on the physical level, working on the mental level, and working on the spiritual level, and incorporating all of that. And I was holding space for people and teaching all of these principles, and as a teacher embodying those and trying my best to live out those principles in the day in, day out. What I found in my own personal journey is that I would show up and do the training and be in my radiance and be in my heart and operate from that place, which is directly connected to Source. And I would feel amazing. I would feel I'm living my purpose, I am in my passion, I am in my journey, and I'm helping people to transform. And the reality is, when we step into the role as teacher, our focus is shifted on holding space, on showing up, on being present, on making sure the content is delivered. And so in this process we can lose ourselves. As a empath, a person who takes in and feels and is sensitive and feels people and feels their energy and feels the feelings that people are going through, I could see that this in a way was enabling me to step into the role and be able to speak to those people. Simultaneously, what it would do for me when I would leave a training is I would go back into my own personal practice and feel lost and feel like, okay, where am I at? Where's my grounding? And because of the nature of my work, specifically for the last 4 years, was moving. I was traveling. I didn't have a home base. I left Guatemala in 2014, and I decided to hit the road, and I decided to go and do teacher training programs around the world, and it was an amazing experience. But in the process, I lost myself. I lost my own personal connection to the practice. There were times that it got fired up for me, and finding and discovering Ashtanga Yoga really transformed my connection to my body, which I'll share in another video. the power of that particular practice for me. But in this journey, I, of course, was learning and transforming in tremendous ways, especially during the teacher training programs. But when I would leave the teacher training programs and I was out in my day-to-day life, what I found was the biggest struggle is how to maintain consistency in my practice and how to nourish myself. Because as an empath and as a teacher, I'd become so accustomed to meeting the needs of other people, of holding space for others, that I realized that I wasn't holding space for myself and that I wasn't fully tuning in to my heart. Of course, there were moments that I was in my practice and I'd get reinvigorated and re-inspired, but there were also many times in my practice where I felt completely lost and drowning, and yet I'd still go back, on average doing 4 to 6 teacher trainings a year, and offer from the depths of my soul and from source what I had to offer. But I was completely empty. I didn't feel full. I didn't feel that I was operating at my highest potential, at my 100%. And I know that there are many teachers and many people that are out there, not only teachers, maybe parents and people who are raising small children, who are running a household, who are having the same struggles of feeling the sense of being lost because you're being so much of service. So I woke up this morning, and my morning practice in the last few days has been to get on my mat, do a nice Ashtanga practice, and to meditate, and then to check in with myself. What am I doing today? What do I want to create? And from what place am I creating? And today, I reached for my phone and I got on social media and I started looking at my messages, and I felt like I got completely lost in the energies of the messages and the Instagram world, and I lost my center. And I also had a moment where I was invited to reflect on what is inspiring to me, because I've been waking up in the morning feeling a bit like I've lost my inspiration. Like, what is it that I really want to share with the world? Why am I here? What am I doing? And I realized I am going through this massive transformation because I have left everything behind that I've known. And as I said in a previous video, the courage to leap, stepping into the unknown, it's a daily choice to step into that space, to create a new way of living and being. And for me, creating that new way of living and being starts with finding my center in my heart and tuning in and coming back to my practice. For so long, stepping on the mat for me, for years, stepping on the mat for me was associated with my work, meaning that I had to step on my mat and practice because I owed it to my students and I owed it to everyone else, my jobs, my work, to do it. It was never about me, about doing the practice for myself, because I need to find my center, because I am honoring my heart, because I love myself. So this is a big revelation for me, and I'm sharing my heart, I'm sharing my own personal journey in these videos, and again, it's just about showing up and being authentic and being real. I know in my own journey in the last 10, 11 years that I've run away many times from feeling, from allowing the inspiration, the insights, the lessons to actually penetrate my heart, and for me to be open to feeling the deep feelings of whatever it was I was going through at the moment, at the time. And so I ask you today, if you are a teacher, or if you feel that you're giving so much, how can you come back to your own practices and reframe them. Maybe it's reminding yourself that these practices are for you to find your center, to find your love, to listen more closely to your heart. And invite you to reflect on your own personal journey and your own transformation. What has been the biggest transformational experience that you've had in your life? And then how can you bring that, how does that translate into your day-to-day life? One final thought that I'll share is I see so many people, me included, going on retreat or going to a training or going on a course, feeling amazing, feeling inspired, and coming out of that and going back into the day-to-day life. And for a little while, those new patterns and those new ways of being show up and are continued. But then there comes a point where we drop off completely and we are like, oh no, I need to go on another training. I need to go and experience something else. I need more inspiration. And what if it's not outside of us? What if it's truly about tuning into what it is that we need in the moment and finding and sourcing our inspiration inside? And then those lessons that we have learned, to take those lessons and to be consistent in the practice. And there may be days where there isn't consistency, and can we sit there with ourselves and really say, I honor you, I honor the journey and the shifts that you're making, because these shifts take time and require us to show up with presence, with awareness. So I hope that this sharing today from my heart serves you, and that those of you who are listening, I truly appreciate it. It would be really wonderful if you can share any of your thoughts, insights, and reflections on your own personal transformation in the comment section below, because it's really meaningful to me to hear your feedback and to know where you're at in your own personal journey. And the final thing I'll say and share is that I created the Beyond Yoga Training program with this in mind, as a way to take it home and to have as a reminder, to have meditation, to have the intentions and lessons weekly to help bring inspiration and to bring a focus for those of you who completed a teacher training program, but actually the program can be for anyone who wants to take a transformational journey through the medicine wheel. So I hope this has served you today, and I will be back joining you tomorrow, and have a wonderful weekend.